Welcome to the PDX files. Each week we dive into the weird and the unexplained here in the Pacific Northwest and beyond. My name is Peej.
And I'm Mac.
And Mac, we're celebrating Christmas early here, a couple of days by the time this video drops. And of course, the theme for this video is Christmas. Found this little video called Top 10 Christmas Traditions with Dark Origins and thought, hey, this kind of is in our wheelhouse, so to speak.
It is, and I feel like that in a lot of other countries, including yours, where you're originally from, they celebrate Christmas much earlier and much darker than what we do in this country as well. But honestly, I'm looking forward to this. This is amazing. You've done a really good amount of research on this one, where I haven't, so I'm ready to like fucking react.
All right. So
Do
Mac
this.
has not seen this video, and to be honest, I've only seen just a few of it. I was wanted to be just as surprised as Mac, but here we go. Again, these are the top 10 Christmas traditions with dark origins, starting with number 10. Oops.
Now, I've never had any carolers come to my door, but that's probably because I live in an apartment and that would be weird. But it's been a thing since the 17th century, but it wasn't as nice and cheerful as it is now. Carolers or wassailers used to arrive at people's houses completely unannounced and demand the residents give them their finest drink and food. And these demands weren't just verbal. Sometimes they'd threaten violence or rape. They'd physically destroy the property and the homeowner's items and sing lyrics like, "If you don't open up your door, we'll lay it flat upon the floor." One
Oh, shit.
was against caroling, so much so that he rallied against it, saying it drove people to rioting and fornication and everything that just wasn't Christian. Who knew carolers were actually just dicks?
I
You
mean,
surprised about that?
that somehow does not surprise me whatsoever. I did not know that, by the way.
Me neither.
And I've never once been caroling in my entire life, nor will I ever be past this date, because I think it's a bunch of bullshit. But
Destroy the
they're
home.
they're demanding like restitution for their caroling. It's like,
Yeah.
that is amazing and like a big grift, but it kind of makes sense. I mean, the whole thing is a grift, but god damn, that is
That's yeah.
fucked up shit.
Talk about get off my property, right?
Yeah, but
Jeez.
what can you do? You get like 20 people outside. You're like, yeah, you better give us all the shit that's going on in your house right now, or we're gonna fuck up your shit. Okay, like I said, your door be laid. What did she say? Your door be laid down or something
Down
like
on the floor. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, that's like home intruder, kind of weird. What's that movie when uh, uh what's that one that where people were like, yeah, you're gonna be they're part of this like tournament, not tournament, but like if you oh god, what was the name of the movie? Like you hide inside your house, or if you go outside and you're dead, kind
Oh.
of deal. Do you remember that one recently? It was kind of like this thing they did once a year, similar to the Hunger Games.
Oh,
What
the
was the name?
purge?
The Purge. I think
Yeah.
it was like a purge kind of deal.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't open up, you don't like give us something, you're gonna get purged.
Yeah.
Ooh, boy,
That's the
man,
history of caroling. All right, here's the next one.
how exciting!
At number 9 is Father Christmas, the big jolly man himself. Now, most people believe his origins can be traced back to St. Nicholas, who we'll talk about later on. But through research, I found out that Harper's Weekly magazine published what's meant to be the first ever illustration depicting the modern Santa Claus, and that was in the 1860s, so it's really not that modern. In that illustration, he's wearing green robes, not the red ones we're used to, and he was even mixed with the legend of the Green Man. The Green Man was this person who ruled the forests and woods in pagan belief. And last time I checked, pagans and Christianity are not the same thing. In Germany, for example, Father Christmas had a dark side, and that came in the form of Krampus, who was said to be his evil helper. He was the bad cop to Santa's good cop. So Santa was either St. Nicholas, he was either a pagan forest man, or he was a Batman and Robin duo with Krampus. Neither of any of which are that good, actually, now that we think about it. Santa Claus, you've done me wrong. Betrayed me.
I just think she's hot, but also, no, she's right. I mean, that's like a lot of things going on in like one myth that's become like, oh, super, nice. but actually has a lot of like these legends in the past of like being like really creepy and bad
Right.
things.
Yeah.
Like it's like a lesson to kids. Like you got to be good, otherwise Krampus is coming.
Right.
Right. That's kind of the thing that I get from it, and that's not good.
Yeah.
It's
It's almost
probably
like
more closer to the truth.
yeah, it's almost like, they created both Santa Claus and Krampus because kids were misbehaving, and so they wanted to make sure that there was a reason for kids to behave. They get
Yeah,
sick.
like nobody wants to have a bunch of kids. Like kids, I've got kids. I love my kids. I should like state that at the very beginning. But like, I don't want like 10 kids because how are you gonna like to sort of get them all in where you want them to be through fear is how you have to
Right.
do it. You have to do it through fear. And some of the fear could be based on like stuff that happened like way long ago. It's like we have like these verbal traditions that have gone on for years and years, thousands of years almost. And it may have began with like, hey, Joe down the road is kind of crazy. If you like sort of act up, Joe's gonna come like mess you up. So I suspect that these are not just like a random things. Like they've been built up over the years, and yeah, Krampus. I'm gonna like advocate Krampus as much as I can to get my kids in line.
All right, we'll continue here. Number 8.
Milk and cookies. Santa Claus is a lucky guy, man. He's getting all these cookies and milk from every house he visits. Honestly, no wonder he has that much energy to just go around the world. But this tradition was actually rooted in everyone being poor during the Great Depression. What a plot twist, I know. Leaving cookies and milk and maybe some carrots for reindeers originated in America during the Great Depression. Since most families were going through major economic hardship, parents tried to teach their kids that it was important to give to others even when they didn't have much to give, and to obviously show gratitude for any present that they did get that year. But 80 years later, everyone's still doing it out of the niceness of their hearts, or maybe they just want to bribe Santa for better presents, but it's not going to work, my man. That's going to get you straight on the naughty list, and you're not getting any presents for that. Facts. Straight facts.
So the caption on the video was wrong. It said caroling still, but it was supposed to be milk and cookies.
No, I get that. Yeah, and that's kind of a thing. Like we sort of put out there, like in a very innocuous way, and a nice way to sort of like, hey, say thank you. But again, you kind of look at even like uh some of the traditions like is like you have to do that. Otherwise, you're not going to get what you need. Is like the whole idea of getting coal in the stocking, right? Is so weird. It's like, hey, I've been pretty good, but they put out this sacrifice, and it's like that's what they did for God in the Bible. There's burnt sacrifices, and even the Greeks before that, like you have to sacrifice. It's like a separate type of a sacrifice that we have to do to get something in return, right? It's
True.
kind of what they're doing with it. It's like very much the same thing.
But obviously, it evolved over the years for it to something that's a little bit more quirky and a little bit kind of
Well, at least it's not
harmless.
it's not Futurama to where like Santa Claus is trying to kill you. So let's just get that going.
All right, here we go.
The 7th slot is St. Stephen's Day, which is the 26th of December. Now, Irish Christmas celebrations go beyond the 25th, and up until very recently used to involve
fuck is that
bird
shit?
murder. Yes, you heard that right. St. Stephen's Day used to be celebrated by killing a wren, putting it on top of a decorated pole, parading it from house to house while singing and demanding money for their deed. It's like the meme where it's like, no one. Irish people demanding money for killing a bird. Anyway, going on the wren or Jenny hunting became a thing because apparently St. Stephen himself was betrayed by a wren, and the practice continued till the 1930s, which really wasn't even 100 years ago, you guys. So really, we need to stop bird murder. We should have stopped bird murder a long time ago.
Wow, I didn't know it went that just recently. That's insane. She's still hot. That is like really weird stuff that apparently Europeans do. This is all about Europeans so far, and their like insanity around this particular time. So I don't know what else to say. Is like, yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Agreed.
All right, we go.
6 are baubles. I've literally always wanted to decorate a Christmas tree. It's been my dream for my entire life, and I've never done it. Just remember, you guys, if I die and I didn't do it, just remember my soul will not rest. It will come back to haunt you. Now, traditionally, the act of hanging toys and treats from your Christmas tree was German in origin, but baubles and glass-blown spheres date back to the 17th century and originated from a very spooky idea in Britain and Ireland: witch balls. Yup. Now, witch balls were these glass spheres that had silver inside them and were believed to shoo away evil spirits. When they were first created, they were put in windows to neutralize the evil eye of any passing witch by reflecting it back at her or confusing her with the pattern. People thought the bright colors of the balls would entice and trap the witch and other dark spirits inside of it. Some people even filled them with holy water for even more protection. Either way, they somehow moved from the window to the tree. I don't know how, but I'm guessing it was because people wanted even more protection during a holiday that was so very holy. I think that's a pretty good guess.
I mean, that all that makes sense to me for people who are ignorant and stupid and you don't understand anything. It's like, yeah, let's do this, and then it'll save us from it. But at the same time, it bred like what we have today. It's like, oh, our tree is so beautiful with all these baubles, like as she was saying.
Right.
And like it makes sense, like to now, it's like it's all about like the dollar. But then it was like, oh, we gotta survive because we gotta put this shit on the fucking tree. That is
The
fucking
witches.
terrifying. Like the people actually thought, right? It's like that is insane. But also 100% I believe that I know that's true. I believe that 100% to be true.
Yeah.
And I don't put the shit in my tree for any of those reasons because I'm not afraid of any of that stuff. But I can understand if you are, I'm 100% down with that. If I put myself in that mindset, I'm down with it. Yes, we have to fucking do this.
It's crazy how, again, like how it evolved to all of a sudden being on the tree.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they were no longer afraid of witches. So it's kind of funny.
Oh, it's so fucked up.
Here we go.
And 5 are Christmas parties. Now, everyone loves those cheeky Christmas parties where there's Secret Santa and a bunch of alcoholic hot chocolate and everyone's just getting fat and drunk. Who wouldn't love that? I love that. Well, firstly, I'm gonna hit you with some facts. Now, Christmas wasn't always celebrated on the 25th. The birth of Christ was only confirmed
I know
on
that.
date 300 years after the fact. Before that, his birth was marked on at least 3 different dates. One in March, one in Jan, and one in June. It was just all over the place. Coincidentally, December 25th was also the same day of the Roman festival of Saturnalia and the winter solstice.
Pagans.
This festival was
Pagans.
dedicated to the Roman god Saturn, and it involved continuous unrestrained drinking, the role reversals between masters and their slaves. Criminals were allowed to run rampant and do whatever they wanted.
Purge.
Schools were
The
closed. The rich were encouraged to give presents to the poor so they wouldn't be robbed. Christmas parties are wholesome now, but they started off as proper shit shows.
I mean, honestly, it seems just like you got to let people loose once a year and kind of do their thing. Yeah, I get it. I'm glad that we don't do that. That the purge and the other stuff that she was talking about isn't happening. But again, the way she says is very sexy. So,
All right, here we go.
At number 4 are stockings. Now, I've really always wanted my own stocking with my name on it just hanging above the fireplace, but alas, my dreams are still just dreams. Now, filling stockings with treats is all fun and games now, but its origins are rooted in poverty and illness. Who would have thought? The tradition apparently started when a 4th century bishop, St. Nicholas, heard an old man complaining about how he didn't have any money to supply each of his 3 daughters with a dowry. And back then, dowries were a very big deal. Any girl that didn't have a dowry wouldn't be allowed to get married and probably would have become a concubine in order to sustain herself. Now, St. Nicholas's heart went out for this old man so much that he snuck into their house at night and saw that they had hung some stockings above the fireplace to dry. He stuffed them with bags of gold, and the impoverished family lived happily ever after.
I never knew this.
I never knew that either.
I never knew that shit. That is amazing. As a legend. Fuck.
Yeah.
God, we're learning a lot of stuff here with this particular video, and it's sexy as hell. But I mean, the video is very interesting because it's like I literally didn't know. I mean, I knew some of the stuff that she was talking about, but I didn't know that. And actually, I kind of already sort of wondered, like, why is this? What is the stocking thing? all about
Yeah,
back in the
I never
year.
knew about anything about the stocking thing either, and we didn't have it in the Philippines. Not that I remember, but now it makes sense with regard to the chocolate coins. You know, the chocolate gold
The
coins,
gold coins. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
right? There's the tie-in.
God damn. Who knows all this stuff? See, because I mean, honestly, um, I just thought it was just like the coins are just like the gold, it's like it didn't mean anything, but
Well,
it clearly means something
right.
according to like, oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was always kind of equating it to like prosperity or whatnot, but yeah,
Yeah,
that,
but I mean, but there's a specific reason for it, apparently,
exactly,
according to this.
exactly.
Amazing. Love it.
All right, here's the next one.
The 3 slot is mistletoe. Okay, spilling some tea here. I've only ever been kissed once under mistletoe, and that was when I was 12, and it was my first boyfriend. I had butterflies, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Now, typically, the mistletoe is a plant you're meant to be kissed under, but back in the day, it was seen as a symbol of friendship by the Druids. Druids were meant to be religious
Okay.
mediators between humans and God. They were types of law keepers. This symbol was not received well by religious leaders in England, and so it was banned. Years later, the York Minster Church started holding mistletoe service each winter, where criminals could come to the church with their own sprig of mistletoe and be pardoned for their crimes. So before it was a romantic plant, it was a criminal's God-sent herb. Good to know.
That makes a ton of sense. I mean, and I wish it wasn't that, but it actually does make a lot of sense. It's like there's certain, herbs and plants back in those days. It's like, hey, I've got this, thing above me. Wow, that's amazing.
And
Haven't, yeah,
again, it had pagan beginnings.
yeah,
So
definitely, yeah. That's the thing is like a lot of people don't understand how the Christians, well, even the Jews and the Christians, and even later on, the right a stepchild, the Muslims, they're much younger than the other ones, are all adapting and taking on certain characteristics of these other religions, the pagan religions, to like make their thing looks better. I, I'm kind of I believe more in the pagans at this point after this video so far. So far.
well, it's probably the most maligned belief system, right? Paganism, because
But it's the most realistic.
it's the most realistic and it's rooted in nature and clearly influenced much of Christian traditions when it comes to
Oh,
Christmas.
thousands of years before. Yeah, it's amazing.
All right,
Really is.
next one here. This is number 2.
Now at number 2 is Good King Wenceslas. Now when I first read that title, I was like, what is this obscure Christmas carol song that no one's heard of? But then I YouTubed it and I was like, wait, I do know this song. Kinda goes like, when the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even. Now hopefully you guys recognize the song now based on my lovely a cappella version, and now we're gonna just move swiftly on and pretend I didn't do that. So this song is supposedly about a nice king who helps out a poor peasant during a snowstorm. But the inspiration for the song was a real person who died a horrible death. Now Wenceslas I, Duke of Bohemia, was born back in 907 AD. His father died, so he was raised by his mum, who was the daughter of a pagan tribal chief. Fast forward to 935 AD, Wenceslas's brother gave orders to murder him, so he was stabbed repeatedly with a lance while praying in church, and then he was dismembered right in front of the chapel. I feel like if you get killed in a church, surely that's like your straight ticket to heaven, right? That has to be your straight ticket to heaven. If you get murdered in a holy act, surely you go to heaven. I'm gonna put my money on it. Wenceslas, I see you.
So, have you ever heard of that song, "Good King Wenceslas"?
Yeah, but I mean, I've always thought again it was one of those things that was like supposed to be positive because I never
Right,
really heard the song sung to me. It's like I have heard of it, but I didn't really know anything about it. I
correct,
didn't know it was that fucked up.
exactly.
It is really bad sounding, and what was the
and how
one?
how it turns into a Christmas song, right? How does it happen?
Yeah, how does that good in any way? How is the good? So he did something good, and then he got like stabbed like 1,000 times. How was that good? I mean, it doesn't seem like a very good Christmas type thing. Maybe other than happen in the the time that we think Christmas happened now, like the birth of Christ. It's like, I guess, okay, whatever. But it didn't end up very well for the Wenceslas. I didn't know that. I really didn't know that. To be
Well,
honest with you.
here's what's it's even more interesting because I feel like I remember a line in that song. Let's see
A
here.
line.
No, there, yeah, because it's good King Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stephen. Remember Feast of Stephen? Which is
No, I don't remember that shit. What are
it
you
was
talking
earlier in the videos, December 26th, the day after Christmas is the
about?
Feast of Stephen. All right, here we go. Here's the last one.
At number 1 is down the chimney. So hopefully the only person coming down your chimney is
Oh.
Santa Claus, because we really don't have
I
time for
love
any
that.
other shady ass to be coming through there. But we have had a lot of shady creeping into the homes of families through chimneys, and it is not okay. European legends tell us of
So that was a thing.
supernatural creatures that used to break into houses via the chimney. In the Middle Ages, it was thought that witches came into houses through chimneys and robbed cribs and the babies inside them. In Greece, the Calicanthroi goblins were the ones that crawled through the
Oh,
chimney
shit.
and terrorized families and just stole stuff from them. In conclusion, nothing good has ever come down a chimney other than Santa Claus. Let me just put that out there.
So yeah,
I
so,
would say she's 100% correct. It's like nothing has ever good come down a chimney. Let's just leave it at that.
yeah.
And if you have like magical abilities, like why would you cram yourself through a goddamn chimney? Right. So just go ahead and do what you're gonna do. So yeah, I agree. Nothing is and you look about it like in those days, like the olden days. Oh, oh, there's a weird noise in her chimney. Let's just this is fine. This is
It's just-
good. Nothing possible that can go wrong in this situation.
make sure you're good. But- well,
Man, that is
folks,
fucked up.
I hope you enjoyed that trip down the lane of finding out the dark history or the dark origins of some of our Christmas traditions that we probably take for granted these days. And from our podcast to you, Merry Christmas. And if you enjoy this content, please give it a like and share it across your socials to help get the word out about our show. If you hadn't already done so, please subscribe. And on YouTube, hit that notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on future episodes. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.